On this episode I'll be mounting the engine and possibly trying to fit Lily over the top of the roll cage. I've managed to sit the engine in here just with a bit of offcuts, and that happened to be the perfect length to hold it up. But Lily's, the very rear part, sits at about here. So the engine should fit in there fine. Now all I got to do for the first engine mount, I'll just run one across the two engine mounts and onto the frame here, and that should do. I have the first engine mount welded up. As you can see when I get down here, that both engine mounts line up with the bar that I just tacked in. So what I'll do, I'll just put a bit of flat bar across it and then drill a hole, and the bolt will go through that and all the way to the engine. Okay, got the first engine mounts welded on. Bolt goes in. All I need is probably some shorter ones and then some spacers to go in there, and then we're good to mount this engine. Second side of the engine mounts bolted up. I'm just making the rear one here, and it'll just simply be a bar that goes between these two bits here, and just a bit of flat plate to drill through to put the bolt in. Engine mounts are going on pretty well. As you can see, I've cut the spaces for these bolts here, and they're all in, and then I've welded the tabs on this back bar here and got the bolt in. So this bolt for the back piece here is actually longer than this bit here, so I actually had to drill in to this bit here so that way I could slide it in and it would just fit through. Now I just got to make this bottom mount for this one down here and then work that out, and then I'll have to take the engine out and complete the welds for the engine mounts, and that's all good. Got this piece bended up. I do need to trim it, but it is going across the frame rails like that next to that engine mount. The engine is officially in. I've final welded everything, I've painted it, the bolts are in, they're all tight. It's really coming along now. Though this little bar that I welded in last, just realised the sprocket's here, so it might get it in the way a bit, but I guess there'll be a chain tensioner here, so it might just clear this. Now all we got to do is fit Lily on top of this, so I'll probably just chuck it right on top, and then I imagine, because these will come outside of Lily, so I'll have to cut a big hole in the back and probably a couple of little ones in the front to fit it over. going along well. We're pretty much halfway down. We are coming up to a sad bit here. So obviously the engine is too hot. Well, the engine is higher than the tail here, so I'll have to cut the whole tail out so that way it'll fit. It's a little bit sad, but I have plans to use the tail section later on. So Lily is pretty much together. It actually looks like something now. I do need to do a little bit of fine tuning, and I'll do that in my own time. And there's also this big hole on the back. I will probably actually use some sheet metal for this, because I actually want to create a firewall there to make it a bit safer. As you guys saw, I can still fit inside. It's actually pretty comfy. And the eyes, we need to do something with that. I might just replace it and keep some stickers on there, because that thin plastic there is so old I can barely see through it. Next video, I'll be getting the second axle, I'll be getting a seat, and then I'll also get like a fuel tank and actually work on trying to get this engine running. Things like mount the sprockets, get a chain, put the radiator on, connect the brakes, and then like throttle, clutch and a shifter. So there's lots of little things to do now. Even though it looks almost done, there's still a lot to go. We also have things like the exhaust. We need to work out the ignition. I'll probably make a door. I'll also have to sort out visibility on the side I'm standing on, because I can't see to the right at all. I have a plan for that as well. But thanks for the support so far. See you guys next time.